episode of Tanks for the Memories World of Tanks replays. This is one of my clan mates, Casky One Actual. I've shown a couple of videos from him before, and this is a game that he had just the other day on Airfield, and it's a standard battle on Airfield. He is top tier in a tier 6 match, surprisingly, with a KV-2, and it's a pretty good fight. He does really well, as you'll see. Obviously, you can tell from the video description, but wasn't one where, you know, in watching this, I really wasn't sure it was going to turn out to be a good fight. I'm not really sure I would have taken my KV-2 over the way that he did, but and there weren't a lot of really great players, according to XBM, on his team. He's doing this solo. There's no platoon mates here on this to back him up with a slow firing gun. So, you know, he's obviously a heavy tank, so he's going to head over to the, you know, the D&E 5 and 6 grid area where all the heavy tanks typically go to beat each other up. There is a KV-2 on the other team that he's going to have to watch out for. So he comes up here to the 5-6 area. To get stuck in. Now this is where he sees the other KV-2 over by the hangars. And at this point, it's sort of, since that other KV-2 is way over there, it makes sense for him to get up here as close as he can to already safe spaces. Now, there's obviously people on the other side there hitting these Hellcats, so he's going to put a shot in there, which is given time for the for that KV-2 to make his way up to this same area. Since nobody's in the open at this point, he's going to try and stay already safe and get up against this wall and be able to put some fire down on the vehicles that do make it over. And that's when the KV-2 that was over by the hangar has now been spotted here. So he's got to keep himself covered from the guys on the other hill in G5, but also be able to try and get some shots in on this KV-2 so that the Hellcats can move up and take out the rest of those folks. So still trying to stay already safe, been spotted, and you know that KV-2's within the 50-meter range, so he's got the ability to put some shots out there. Puts a good old hit on that M4 from a very long distance. But now he's reloading, and the KV-2, if he's smart, has seen that our guy is fired and should be trying to get up here into position to shoot at him. And there's Arden. So Kasky staying mobile, trying to get his front around to take this KV-2 on, who's going to come up trying to put a shot into him, and is going to. So let's pause that for a second, because the shot that Kasky took on this guy was in the hull on the side. I guess the tracks got part of it, but the other KV-2 put a pretty good shot into him right there in the front. Shaved off a bit more health than he traded. He only Kasky only got 277 on that, and the other KV-2 got 346. So he's now taking a big old smack in the face, basically, and could use some help. But the KV-2 is going to go back and reload, and the Hellcat is there. So hopefully that Hellcat will be able to provide some assistance. Still trying to stay already safe. KV-2 is going to try and come up for another shot, but the M4 E2 is putting enough fire into him, or can put enough fire into him to make him think twice about that. So he's going to back off, which gives Kasky some breathing room here, and to see some of the other bad guys that are making their way around. So he's going to pull down here and take a shot on that toaster. And there goes the toaster. So the KV-2 is still coming up. And it's these guys over here are playing relatively safe. Of course, the E2 just took a big hit. Now, Gasky's able to get some angle on this guy here in a second, but the Jackson now has got line of sight, so got to get rid of the Jackson. Still trying to avoid fire from the hill back there and the artillery. Reloading, reloading, reloading. It has the opportunity to take this Lee out, who was not paying any attention whatsoever. So there goes the Lee. Now, still got the KV-2 who's coming around, so rather than sit up there and take it, it's time to drop down a little bit and get out of line of fire. Now this is a gamble because artillery has plenty of opportunity, but the KV-2 is now gone. So what Kasky didn't realize at this point, he's driving so slowly, is that his driver's been injured. And there goes the Arky. So he's got to get his driver fixed and use that first aid kit quickly, get that driver fixed, and get back up into the fight against that KV-1S. There it is. He just fixed the driver. So now he's got to get up there. Hellcat put a big old hit on that guy. CV. So at this point, Kasky's got 4. There's the other side, the side next to the ocean has been wiped out. So rather than push on to the enemy flag, he's going to go back and try to defend Cap while there's still time to move across the field. So there's going to be some concern about guys over on the beach side being able to take shots at him as he heads back, but he hasn't been spotted. So he's moving back this way. The Hellcat's overwatching the area. The KV-1 is coming over. So, and the artillery's still up there doing his thing. So it's an even match at this point. Kasky's moving back to defend Cap, and it's a good thing too, because right about here, he's going to spot the bad guy. Wow, that Martyr's going to get... See, that's the Fury right there. So he's got to worry about this Fury. Now, the Fury doesn't see him, luckily. For some reason, the Fury didn't spot him. He's still 90 meters out. But this is just inexcusable. Here comes the Fury. By now, he should have spotted him. But it doesn't matter. Too late. So he's now killed 5 guys. There's now 3 enemy left because the somebody else got taken out there. Now we've got just their Artie, the Stug, and the Martyr. So the Hellcat's going after that Martyr. The artillery's going after Kasky. No damage. Lucky shot. Lucky, lucky, lucky there was no shot. So now the Martyr's gone. That leaves the Stug going up against basically the KV-1. And that's that. So now, now it's possible to try and cap. But then the artillery on the enemy team gets that KV-1. So it's 3-1 now. And the Hellcat moves up to go get that artillery piece. Which means that Kasky feels like he's not going to get his top gun. But lo and behold, the Hellcat is killed by the artillery. Wah, wah, wah. So we know where he is. And we're on our way there. So we'll just speed this up a little bit. And the artillery's a little cocky. Our artillery just fired at him. So Kasky's going to try and stay under cover from that guy up on that plateau. Doesn't have much life left, but not going to give him any free shots. So moves up to take a peek. Not spotted. Gets over here, tries to swing wide to throw the guy's aim off if he's looking, get behind this rock, and he's not spotted. So continues to come around, and the artillery, lo and behold, is gone. He has moved from that spot. So, this KV-2 is not fast enough to chase the arty at this point. So rather than, continue to try and chase the guy around the battlefield, it's time to just go up here and get in cap. So carefully getting up here so as not to knock over any buildings, trees, debris, anything like that, give the guy a free shot. It's worth just getting behind something and trying to get as much of a face of the battlefield as possible. And at this point, the enemy arty, I guess he went, from the 2 line down to like the J line and over. But just going to hang out here quietly and wait for a minute, and hopefully that artillery doesn't come in. But if he comes, and it's obvious he's firing blind, so gonna try and, that's not necessarily the best move right there. But at this point, knowing that there are artillery pieces on our cap, which indicates what kinds of line of fire this guy's going to have, Kasky's just going to sit there and wait it out, finish the game out. So this was a pretty darn good game. 1,700 damage, 5 kills, took only 1 hit, and that's the end of the game. So finishes it out with a cap. So I hope you enjoyed this replay. I'll put up the post-game stats next. Thanks for watching.